What happened to the Outlaws? The Outlaws were formed in Tampa, Florida in 1972 by singer-slash-guitarist Huey Thomason and Henry Paul. They also had bassist Frank O'Keefe and drummer Monte Yoho. With the 1973 edition of guitarist Billy Jones, the lineup was complete, and after a year of intense touring, the band became the first act signed to Clive Davis's newly founded Arista Records label. In 1974, Charlie Brusco signed on as manager for Outlaws. Alan Walden, brother of Capricorn Records founder Phil Walden, was told of the group by Lynyrd Skynyrd frontman Ronnie Van Zant, and he joined forces with Brusco as co-manager. The Outlaws' self-titled 1975 album spotlighted their Eagles-influenced harmonies and Allman Brothers-like guitar attack, yielding the top 40 hit There Goes Another Love Song. The Outlaws' mix of country and rock elements displays the vocal harmony influences of groups like Buffalo Springfield, The Byrds, New Riders of the Purple Sage, and Poco. In the wake of 1977's Bill Zempic-produced Hurry Sundown, both Paul and O'Keefe exited with guitarist Freddie Salem, bassist Harvey Dalton Arnold, and second drummer David Dix signing on for 2 albums in 1978, the concert set Bring It Back Alive, and the studio effort Playing to Win. During this period, the Outlaws performed as a support act for non-Southern rock acts of the time, such as The Who, The Rolling Stones, Aerosmith, Queen, Black Sabbath, Rush, Blue Oyster Cult, Ted Nugent, Peter Frampton, Foghat, and Van Halen. The lineup shuffles continued when Arnold announced his departure following 1979's In the Eye of the Storm, with bassist Rick Qua recruited for the next year's Ghost Riders in the Sky, which netted a top 40 entry with its title track, a rendition of the Vaughn Monroe favorite. Soon after, Yoho left to rejoin Paul and his new group, the Henry Paul Band, and with the subsequent exit of Jones, only Thomason remained from the original lineup. Not surprisingly, the group disbanded upon completing 1982's Los Hombres Malo. A year later, Thomason and Paul formed a new Outlaws lineup, adding guitarist Chris Hicks, bassist Barry Borden, and drummer Jeff Howell. The new lineup eventually signed with Spencer Proffer and his Pasha Records label. After releasing 1986's Soldiers of Fortune, Paul again quit the band. Chris Anderson replaced Grisham on guitar in late 1986, but when Soldiers of Fortunes had low numbers, Pasha was eventually absorbed into CBS Records, and the Outlaws were once again without a record label. The remaining quartet returned in 1993 with Hitting the Road. The year after, they released Diablo Canyon. While Paul resurfaced in 1994 in the chart-topping contemporary country band Blackhawk, Thomason later toured with the reformed Lynyrd Skynyrd while continuing to lead the Outlaws, releasing So Low in 2000. Sadly, Jones and O'Keefe died within 3 weeks of one another in early 1995. In 2005, original members Thomason, Paul, Yoho, and David Dix reunited as the Outlaws, rounding out the lineup with 3 members of Blackhawk, guitarist Chris Anderson, bassist Randy Threet, and keyboardist Dave Robbins. Paul and Robbins departed a year later to concentrate again on Blackhawk, while Thomason, who was the only original member of the Outlaws to make it through all of the band's configurations, kept things going, reportedly finishing a new studio album, Once an Outlaw, before his death from a heart attack in 2007. A cover version of their trademark epic 10-minute track, Green Grass and High Tides, is featured as the finale in the set list for guitar and bass in the video game Rock Band, and features 2 complicated solos. In May 2010, the Outlaws were featured along with the Marshall Tucker Band, Molly Hatchet, Blackberry Smoke, and the Chris Hicks Band on stage at Long Island Southern Jam 2010 in Babylon, New York at Overlook Beach. In 2012, a new edition of the Outlaws released a studio album, It's About Pride. Dedicated to Huey Thomason, Billy Jones, and Frank O'Keefe, the set featured Henry Paul, Monte Yoho, Chris Anderson, Randy Threet, and Dave Robbins from the Once an Outlaw lineup, alongside new members Billy Crane on guitar and Joe Lala on percussion. In 2013, Billy Crane left the band due to medical problems, and Joe Lala died in 2014 after a bout with lung cancer. Steve Grisham, who played with the Outlaws from 1983 to 1986, rejoined the group as a guitarist. A new concert album from this edition of the band titled Legacy Live arrived in 2016. The German hard rock label Steamhammer issued a 2020 studio album, Dixie Highway, followed by a pair of archival live releases, 2020's Live at Rockpalast 1981, a CD and DVD package preserving a show recorded for German television, and 2022's Alive in America, drawn from a 1975 radio recording of the Outlaws in Denver, Colorado. The band helped their fans celebrate the holiday season with the release of 2023's Southern Rock Christmas, a collection featuring tracks from Charlie Daniels, Point Blank, Black Hawk, Black Oak, Arkansas, the Georgia Satellites, and more. The Outlaws' contribution to the set was an interpretation of the classic What Child Is This? And that's what happened to the Outlaws. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. Give me some facts about the band that I failed to mention, and let me know who I should do next on the channel. Also, give me your favorite song from the Outlaws and any memories you have of them, whether it's seeing them in concert. You might have even had an interaction with one of the members of the band. Anything you have at all, let me know in the comments below, and I will see you in the next video.